There's blind men, they approach an elephant, but they can't see, and so they touch the elephant, and one says, oh, look at this. It must be an elephant as a tree trunk, because he touches the elephant's leg, and he goes, elephants are thick and strong. And one touches the elephant's ear, and they say, oh no, elephant is like a palm leaf. It's thin, and it moves freely in the wind. And one grabs the elephant's tail and goes, oh no, the elephant is like a rope. And here's the moral of the story, that all people only have a part of the truth. And so we all need to understand that nobody knows the truth. And all of us have a little bit of truth in us. We're all figuring out who the elephant is. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that deep? I'm like, is this freshman philosophy class? What is happening right now? Here's the thing, because that story is told by the narrator who can see the elephant, who knows what an elephant is, who knows that's the leg of an elephant and the ear of an elephant and the tail of an elephant. Someone who can see is telling all the blind people that they only have part of it. The meta-narrative is there is a truth that exists from a truth teller who can see it all and knows that the other people only have a portion of it. All of it is not correct. We need to be people who understand there is a truth teller who knows the beginning from the end of the story, who tells us you don't have to grope around blindly. You can know a God of the universe. And your misguided search for truth doesn't have to be blind. And so when people tell me things like, well, nobody can have a comprehensive view of reality, you're telling me you have a comprehensive view of reality that disqualifies my view. Do you understand that? There's no such thing as absolute truth. Is that statement absolutely true? Ha ha, you got me! Truth is not yours to own. It just is. And it's so important to understand that truth doesn't come from within. And if it doesn't come from within, where does it come from? Well, if you believe John Lennon, and I don't recommend it, he says, I believe that what people call God is something in all of us. I believe that what Jesus and Muhammad and Buddha and all the rest said was right. Don't get your theology from a musician, especially not even the best musician in the Beatles. But what we have to understand, is once you get past the golden rule, most religions don't agree. They conflict. There's a great poem by a guy named Steve Turner. He's a satirist. He writes this: Jesus was a good man, just like Buddha, Muhammad, and ourselves. He was a good moral teacher, though we think his good morals were kind of bad. We believe that all religions are basically the same, at least the ones that we read were. They all believe in love and goodness. They only differ on matters of creation, sin, heaven, hell, God, and salvation. We believe that each man must find the truth that is right for him. Reality will adapt accordingly. The universe will readjust. History will alter. We believe that there is no absolute truth except the truth that there is no absolute truth. We have to think outside of our comfortable worldview, because it's not just go along to get along. If there's a truth that exists, it's worth knowing and defending. You can't say that everything is the same. You can't go to the Middle East right now and tell the Israelis and Hamas, listen, I know one of you is out to wipe out the entire other people group, but you're all the same. And good news, when you die and go to heaven, you'll hold hands and sing Kumbaya. What an insulting worldview to tell people everyone is right. You don't go to Rwanda. You don't go to places where genocide happens, says your murderers just have a different truth and they're living their truth, so let them go. You say there is truth worth fighting about. Nothing is more offensive to 99% of the world than we democratic, westernized Americans sitting in Starbucks, right, with our liberal arts degree, enlightening people and saying, here's what the truth is for the world. The rest of the world is fighting for truth constantly. And they don't live in a democracy where you just discuss things. They kill for their truth. And so you can't just go around saying, oh, your truth is your truth and my truth is my truth and we're all the same. It makes us all slaves to improper thinking. And when you say all belief systems are the same, we need to actually walk through that process. Let me take you to it. All religions are the same, all right? Well, which ones are you talking about? The ones in Canaan where they sacrifice children to Molech? Oh, you take your baby and you throw them on the fire because you need, grain or whatever. That one, no, not that one, I don't like that. How about Jim Jones in Ghana? Right, Jim Jones went down to French Guiana, convinced 900 people to drink Kool-Aid, they all killed themselves. What about that religion? Well, that one's not true either. Well, which religions make the cut? You're using something to winnow down what you accept. Most of us, just like the domesticated American ones, are the ones far away that we don't actually know anything about, and say they're all the same. And that's insulting, and it's disingenuous, and we need to do the hard work of coming up with better ideas because there is a truth that's knowable. Christianity is light years better than any other idea I've ever heard. Somebody, this is like 3 days ago, somebody said, well, you know what your problem is? Your problem is you think you know everything. I'm like, well, I don't. But let me explain to you what the Bible says. And your problem is that karma is going to get you. I'm like, number one, thank you for the threat. Number two, karma is the most garbage belief system in the history of the universe. Because we're safe Americans, so we think like karma is like that guy cut me off, so I hope there's a cop up ahead who gets him, which totally fine. But karma tells people like, hey, I'm sorry that you were abused. You must have done something in another life to deserve it. Better luck next time. Karma is hot garbage. And most people would rather default to karma or the universe balancing because then they don't have to think about if there's something true or false.